Okay, here we have a falling sand simulation that I have got Gemini to make for me. And as you can see, it's in 3D. There's often a lot of 2D versions of these, I'm sure you've all seen, but this is a 3D version, which I thought would be kind of cool to have a look at and see if it would be able to handle the cost. There's a lot of giant array matrix to calculate all the different positions of the sand. And we've got the sand here, but we can also add in water. And the cool thing about the water is it spreads out into the lower places, just like that. But you can then build up sandy bits. And if we increase the brush size and the speed here, so we can get more sand in quicker, just like this. But then we add some water and you'll get water flowing down off the top, and it leaves a pool here, like a lake of water at the top, and that's kind of cool. We can then erase parts, and then we have these wood things and stone, but they don't really seem to actually fall down, they just go on top, so it doesn't really make much of a difference there. The difficulty that I had, it wasn't a one-shot here. It did work the first time, but it wouldn't handle different colors, so I had many attempts going backward and forward to get the colors working, and also to increase the amount of cells that were here, voxels they're calling them, each cube. It was very small at the start. I've increased it to 48, but if we look at the code, we can also increase again to 96. And now if it refreshes here, we can get some more, and we get an even bigger display, which is pretty fun to play with. And you can see things coming down super fast. Nice. We build up some like mountain range here, some more sand here, and put in some water. Whoosh, splash. I love the splash as well, you know, as it comes down. Yeah, it's falling downwards. Which is very fun to do. And then you could put in more sand under the water and it'll build up here. So very cool. That is able to calculate all of this. And so as it continues to go up, there's a lot of voxels that it has to maintain a position of, so it starts to slow down, and I couldn't really get it to go any more than this, and really it becomes too slow to become usable if you increase the size again. But this is a pretty happy medium, I find. And then we can erase like parts of the mountain here, like that. Put some more water in, and yeah, so it works pretty well. You can also change the color of the water, you know. Oh, we got green water, you know, or red water, and you know, which is just fairly a simple thing you would think to do, but it actually took the AI maybe about 6 prompts for me to get that water working backwards and forwards. So it had some difficulties with it, but it got there in the end. I don't understand why it was doing that. But then if we also have a look in the code, the interesting thing about the water here, if we look down, it's doing this mathematics here, these maths equations, to spread out the water horizontally, so it doesn't just create these mountain shapes like the sand just stacks upon each other and falls down in a nice mountain mound, whereas the water will spread out, which is kind of cool. And I think this effect of the water kind of dancing on the top is actually it's continuously being spread out when there's not enough for it to be an equal plane. And I think it's a secondary characteristic being built in rather than a desired programmed artifact, which is kind of cool because it makes it look like waves and ripples among the water.